Alright guys, and welcome to the Scrub Club Invitational number 1. This is our first game in the losers bracket between Federator, who was knocked out by Relax in the second round of the winners bracket, and Iskar Jarak, who was knocked out by Jathura in the first round. So what we'll do is swap into the game now, and we'll just do our introduction. So in the top right hand corner of the map we have our orange Terran Iskar Jarak, who is throwing down the nice mana piece of literature at the start of our match, and then in the bottom left hand side of the map, which is Cloud Kingdom LE, we have our Aqua Protoss Federator. So what hopefully we'll be seeing by these players is the style that they've come used to doing. So for Iskar, it's that really strong stim timing that he's working on. And for Federator, hopefully he'll stick to his guns with his charge lot timing that he transitions into fairly quickly. And if you haven't seen Game 2 against Relax, it nearly paid off, I guess. So if you haven't seen those games, go and check them out. Unfortunately, we weren't able to get the first replay where Federator eliminated Eximus from the tournament, but in the second game against Relax, he put up quite a fight. So go check that out, guys. On the other hand, Iskar Jarak, you should probably, to see what I'm talking about when I'm saying this stim timing that he's really kind of worked on and gotten down to the stage where it's a really refined process, you'd probably need to go and check out his first game against Jathura, which was in the, I believe, the winners bracket round B, and that was the first game, and yeah, it worked really well then. And as we see now, he's just going to hit this timing, so the supply depot goes down, and he should start making Marines and maybe an orbital command. There we go, fantastic. Nice little bit of transition there. Whilst over in Federator's base, he's throwing down that cybernetics core that will enable him to start building up a bit of a defense, because his only weakness, if there was one so far in the tournament, is just any early pressure that just comes unnoticed. So we'll just actually check the vision, and nothing's been done by either player, but it looks like Iskar's about to change that as he's sending out his SCV to check on what Federator's up to at the moment. So good timing with that mule, getting it cooled down nice and quick. And the chrono boost going out on that warp gate technology that Federator favours in this. Now, whilst each player gets set up with Iskar getting ready to start his stim research, maybe. There we go, fantastic. So whilst each player gets set up and Iskar adds on the second racks and Federator goes for that early Twilight Council, I'll just... recently I've been watching this... how would you explain it? I've been watching this kind of Brood War documentary thing about this guy called Nal Ra, who was... he won an OSL, I think it was. He won one of the first ones. He won the ones... It was an OSL or an MSL or something like that. He won the one straight after Nada did. So he was the successor to that crown. And soon after he retired and then became a commentator. And what this series is about is his return to pro gaming, and to see if he can qualify for the Star League again. And Federator just transforms them into warp gates. And I think it's so far, I've found all the episodes and there's about 13 of them. And it just documents his whole rise. And just before this cast, I finished watching the first one, just to make sure that they were all of similar quality, and I'm pretty happy with what I saw. It's really well made, well executed, and well put together. So we see here with this car, we see the 3 racks plus 1 factory, and Federator just building up a bit of a Zealot army and throwing in a Stalker or two. So what he'll need to be doing is he'll need to be building a few more probes and expanding if he's to have any chance of holding off this stim timing with the +1 attack that's on its way from Iskar. As the reactor, no, it's a tech lab, okay, as the tech lab gets thrown down on the racks, probably for the siege tank as well, which is something that he's added into the composition in previous games. So both gases being taken, but only one harvester on the bottom one, and that +1 attack upgrade is nearing halfway complete. So charge lot speed, or discharge as Blizzard calls it, just finishes up now, and just throwing down a couple more pylons just to ensure no supply blockage occurs, and some more probes coming out of there. So siege mode and the siege tank are on their way as well, as this little Bob, the SCV supply depot worker, just continues making his nice little thing, getting a fairly good position with the supply depots to ensure that he has maximum visibility over his base so that no DT drops or something like that can go unnoticed. And so as that one finishes, he gets immediately unsupply blocked. Fantastic. So this is quite a daunting force being built up by Iskar. So what he'll be looking to do is to eventually add a starport and then throw a couple of medevacs into the mix. But he might even be looking to expand fairly soon as well, just so he can crank up the production, because he does have a fairly nice force to defend at home. As the first tank sieges up. And just in time it looks like, oh, it unsieges. And will it re-siege? Not yet, so he's just grouping them up in one group, and here comes the first engagement of the map. So we'll just get this out of the way, and these poor zealots do not know what hit them as their numbers just whittled away. So the Guardian Shield being quite effective there, and the command center being thrown down, and unfortunately for these zealots they're just going to melt away, but not before they claim a few lives for ire. So nice job with the sentry there, just getting out alive and keeping that energy count fairly mid-range to high. But unfortunately for Federator, that was a fairly unfavourable exchange. And of course, as Day9 says, when behind Dark Shrine. So Iskar full 11 workers up, and he just throws down that spot scan just to see what's happening. He knows that there isn't an expansion, so he'll be looking to add to his Terran Death Ball and then hopefully push through for just one clean sweep of a victory. So an additional rack's coming down now as well, and it looks like it's at 3 starports. Now Federator will need to be chrono boosting out some serious probage and expand really quickly if he's to have any chance of sustaining production off these 3 and the Dark Shrine and the robotics facility as well, because 2 gas is not going to cut it, my friend, unfortunately. It's just how this game works. As the expansion finishes up now for Iskar, and he should be morphing it into an orbital command maybe. And there we go, as 2 reactors are thrown down. Oops, that's a tech lab, so reactor, tech lab, reactor. And the mass transfer over of SCVs, which is another popular part of Iskar's playstyle. The mules being dropped down. So yep, so the expansion finally being taken now for Federator, but unfortunately for him, he needs to start smashing out some production in order to get his supply up to the point where it is with Iskar, who is a full 40 ahead. So the observer on the way as well, probably just to check at what is happening. But unfortunately for Federator, when he sees what he's up against, I don't think it's going to be a happy ending. And even the third, why do I keep saying that? The third base being thrown down now. And this starport we'll start pumping out those medevacs eventually. So 2 Marines at a time on these barracks and 1 Marauder. Ooh. So here we go, so we're currently boosting out some probes, and he could even rally this Nexus down to the low ground and start doing the same just to get that extra. Oh, but here we go, so the extra gas income to hopefully help add to his OP-DT powers. Now, I'm not sure if you've noticed this, but some of the DTs hold hand sabers and others hold the big scythes. No difference in damage or stats. But yeah, just a little interesting thing. Now, Federator's done well actually to hold on to both these Zelnaga towers, just so he can tell when the force is coming out and where from. But on the other hand, he does not have anything near what he needs to stop this if it does decide to hit. So the 3rd orbital command being thrown down, and all these orbital commands being fairly low on energy, which is really good macro by Iskar. So the reactor starport with 2 at a time, and that's 2 upgrades, and that's 2 as well. So he's already got 1-1, and he's looking to get that 2-2 on the way. We'll just check the upgrade count for Federator to see if he has any. No, but he is getting that Protoss shield out, which will benefit all these units. And 2 skill rays just popping now as well. There's 1 skill ray. There's the 2nd. So where's that observer gone? There's 2 of them there. They need to be getting into action. Oh, and the 3rd's doing its job here as well. Seeing the huge force that there is, and even seeing the extra medevacs that have come out as well. Frightening sight, no doubt. And here comes the big push, and this Zealot is like, well, I'm just going to hang out here. But unfortunately, Iskar in a mostly flawless game has just slightly gotten supply blocked, but that's right because he's noticed his mistake. It's quickly chucking down an extra 2 supply depots, whilst Federator opts to warp in more DTs. So 2-1, or 2 attack about to finish now. And this Zealot must have radio comms with this one, just saying stay out of it. It's not worth it. Whoops, I accidentally hit the B button, guys. We're going to get sent back 10 seconds in time just to watch that bit again, as the 4th also goes down, which I neglected to see. So here comes A Force for Federator. An interesting hotkey setup by him, where Iskar's gone for a fairly standard hotkey setup, and I assume when this is done he might morph into either a planetary or an orbital command, just depending on how he sees himself in this game. So the siege up of the tanks will come now, or roughly now. He'll need to get the standoff, or else he's going to get most of his army ripped through, like it is now. And see you later, DTs. And the skill rate's also coming in now, getting their charge up, but unfortunately too many Marines are too good, and their numbers get whittled down to almost nothing. So another 3 DTs coming in to try and see what they can make out of the situation. 2 tanks going down, 3 tanks, but I'm not sure 3 tanks is worth the... hang on, let's check. So a siege tank is 150, 125, and a... whoops, hang on, we'll just go back 10 seconds in time. And a DT is 125, 125, so it's a fairly... economically it's a sound exchange, but yeah, unfortunately the mass tide of units forces the GG from Federator, who gives the brief analysis of his scenario, and we see the game end there. So what I'll do is I'll swap back over, and when you return, guys, we should be on to game 2 of this series. And as always, I've been